The 16th of January 2024, a day of panic and dread for residents of the Bodija state capital and indeed the country at large. The ancient city was jolted by an explosion that shook it to its core, leaving unprecedented devastation in its wake. Lives were lost, property destroyed, while some were missing and never found among the rubble.
Since this day of infamy, on 16 January 2024, the residents have been traumatized and their lives have been turned upside down. At the last count, over 100 houses and numerous cars were destroyed and many lives were unfortunately lost. It is not easy even now to accurately quantify the total cost of the damage, but it will not be less than 3 billion naira.
For those who lost loved ones in the explosion, their grief is never still. Their faces tell the story of the pain they bear still.
The only child I lost them. July 28.
The agony of the victims of the disaster is stark, but most have found solace at the mercy of friends and relatives to lay their heads as they were rendered homeless. The landlords note that the quick response of the Oyo State government was a lifeline at a time hope was in short supply.
The residents of Bodija commend the initial action of the governor of Oyo State, His Excellency to bring support to the victim of the unfortunate blast. It is to his eternal credit that he saw into action immediately after the blast of war to bring relief and emotional support to the individual victims of the explosion.
Many months after the disaster, the residents of Bodija, who assisted government in collating data for a report on the disaster, say they are yet to see the report put together by the Oyo State government.
Unfortunately, no copy of this report was released to us. I think for DLBG, we had a summary of the report, and at the meeting the governor summoned, we did ask that copies of this report to be made available to us, that we in turn would exchange our reports so that we can do some kind of reconciliation, because it's very important that reports from the victims should be a very important document on which the government should act.
The Oyo State government on its part says it did all it could to provide some relief to the victims with temporary accommodation, feeding and providing healthcare needs for all who needed it.
We kept spending a lot of money on this, our unfortunate brothers and sisters, that and this only abated on September 16 this year. His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde has not ruled out further assistance.
Acknowledging NEMA's contribution through the donations of relief materials to the victims, the residents want more. They are pleading with the federal government to help them get their lives back on track, as it has done to other victims of disaster in other parts of the country.
We are grateful to the government of the state for the past favor. We now passionately call on both the federal government and the state government to do more to alleviate the sufferings of residents of DLBG.
They want those responsible for the calamitous incident brought to book, even as they appeal for financial rehabilitation from the federal government.
We hope that the prosecution, in case of destruction, who disturbed the peace of our residential area on 16 January 2024, should continue unabated. We notice that nothing has been heard on the case since the arraignment by the High Court.
These victims are hoping that both the state and federal government would collaborate to help them cushion the effect of the unfortunate disaster, to help many who have been homeless and disillusioned. Bukola Uriowo, Channels Television News.